into Team Menace taking on 4FC, so Swedes versus Finnish people. Here we go. Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2 for StarSeries Season 7, day number 3. We have got ourselves on the dire side 4FC. And on the right hand side it is Team Menace, formerly known as Red in the Dark. Of course, with me is Vikramon once again. Welcome back.
Good to be back. I've really been enjoying watching Team Menace. I think I've liked them for a while, but I really think they're like coming together and playing stronger each time I see them, which is cool. 4FC we haven't gotten to watch in a while, and of course they're a team that's had pretty steady, good performance. Didn't they almost make the playoffs of StarLadder last season?
Yeah, they did actually. They were performing really well in that one. And also, of course, we're at DreamHack. And the team just been around for a very long time. Of course, they did change their lineup a little bit. I actually got told yesterday that I got told two things. Yeah, I got told a lot of things. 4FC. I really don't know how to pronounce it in English, but Giftig. It's actually the same. Like I told you on Saturday, right? That it's the Dutch word for poisonous. It's actually exactly the same word in Swedish, so it's actually a Swede. So Dutch way of pronouncing it is giftig, giftig, but I'm just gonna pronounce it as giftig. I don't know, awkward.
So
but
it's not pronounced the same way in Swedish, I guess.
It's slightly more smooth than in
Is
Dutch.
it Matrup though?
It's not Matrum, no. It's actually a player that has been playing Dota 1 a lot, has been playing HON a lot, has been in SK Gaming, I believe, at some point as well. And the one that was able to tell me that was Papa Drage, that was co-casting with me yesterday. It was also an old school Dota player that was able to tell me that he is indeed not new to the scene. So, also I'm gonna assume that they are friends, so it's still 4 friends plus Krilly. We do have a stand-in now though, it's Karki that's standing in.
It'd be very conspicuous if they changed the name, like, oh, I guess they're not friends.
There's now 3 friends, and Krilly and Giftig.
Giftig, yeah. Alright, fair enough. And they're playing with a stand-in, it looks like, as well.
Yeah. Jarex has still been standing in with the Menace for, since Saturday, actually, just
I have
the
this
entire time.
sneaking suspicion that Jarex is going to play for them all season.
There's...
I think they just didn't register him as part of the team, but like I said, he was on the team. He was in the original Rat in the Dark. He only left to join QPAD, but I don't know if QPAD's still a thing.
With Sing Sing and KP confirmed.
Right.
Maybe Wagamama's able to get himself some players around him, but...
Maybe.
We'll see.
Either way, I think we're going to see Jarex, quote-unquote, standing in a lot for Menace.
Yeah. Indeed. And we have, of course, got the draft going on. It is actually an Abaddon banned out for 4FC. Menace has been playing that one. We've got an Alchemist already there for Sifla, and we've got an OD there as well for Boogie. So they're looking pretty strong, having 2 cores already picked up. But 4FC already picking up a counter towards both of them, actually. So they have to choose. Later on in the game, you're going to be targeting the Alchemist with your static link, and earlier on in the game, of course, in the lane, Razor is going to be trying to outlane OD.
Yeah. I mean, Razor in the long term, like at 40 minutes, Razor doesn't counter OD that hard. Like, if OD hits for 0 on his main attack, he's still doing a ton of pure damage. The main reason you take Razor is because he can actually handle OD pretty well in the lane. So it's really good. And then later on, yeah, absolutely, he'll be putting the static link more often than not on the Alchemist. I think both teams have good lineups. I do think Menace probably wanted the Abaddon. They've been playing it quite a bit. I think it's pretty good in this lineup. It's a really solid lane along with Alchemist because you just you hit them with a huge unstable concoction. Also, a lot of times you can get trapped with unstable concoction because the other team just puts a long duration disable on you and forces you to stun yourself. But Abaddon makes that not a factor because he just puts Aphotic Shield on you, removes the debuff, and you can unstable concoction whenever the heck you want. So I definitely think they would have picked it if it were available. It's a smart ban by 4FC, very knowledgeable. And Menace actually are really delaying taking their supports. Like, there's been a ton of support bans, and they're still not picking any. You can see that their first 3 picks, unless they go support Alch.
It is an option. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case, though.
Probably not. You don't first pick it. I mean, you can first pick it and have it support, but it's like you spent your first pick on somebody that's a good support, but not tier 1.
Yeah. And otherwise, it would be pretty insane mind games, though. I mean, that's possible still. But yeah, a lot of supports banned out with also the Bane and the Nyx Assassin actually banned out by themselves. So maybe lowering their own pool as well. I mean, 4FC now has got both supports ready. With a Visage and a Rubik. actually a pretty good combination, also a pretty good roaming combination. Could still be aggressive, could be safe, could be anything really. The only thing that we do know is that they are supports, and so far they still need a carry. And because of all those bans dedicated to supports, all those second bans I should say, I mean of course Lifestealer and Lone Druid are still banned out. I mean 4FC has got a very big range of carries to choose from. And offlanes as well.
I vote Kunkka.
We know that they like it.
I'm not even kidding. Yeah, Strangby plays a lot of Kunkka. The other thing is Kunkka's fine against OD too. Not as good as Razor, but not too bad. You can put Kunkka against the OD and Razor against the Alchemist, and you have two pretty good lanes.
And imagine Rubik stealing the Astral Imprisonment. I mean, Rubik can already set up for a Torrent, but Astral Imprisonment, of course, can actually work against Menace in that case as well, if Strangby can get a good one off. We have got a Chen pickup, so far Menace will still need their 5 support, I guess, so that's going to be something that really, or 4FC, wants to ban out. Maybe a Crystal Maiden. We've seen a lot of Crystal Maidens lately.
She's really good. I do think CM is a good option. SD is a pretty good option as well. Yeah. SD Chen, pretty popular support combo in like we haven't seen it nearly as much lately, but it used to be not uncommon. LGD International used to do that semi often. SD also really good with Alchemist for a lot of reasons. If Alchemist is in ultimate form, you disrupt him, get 3 ultimate form Alchemists. The disruption sets up for Unstable Concoction really well. Like, there's a lot of good stuff that comes out of that.
And Nature's Prophet picked up first, one that got ignored until this point. We have got him now on 4FC. Offlaner / jungler, pretty safe. We can compare him to the Darkseer. We'll see how fast he gets his Hand of Midas up, which we're going to assume that he will pick up at some point. We're back in the banning phase. Curious to see which carry Menace is going to ban out, but there's so many options that is really difficult to just pick out the right one. But Kunkka,
there are
of course,
a ton of options. Yeah, I actually genuinely think they should ban Kunkka. The other cool thing about Kunkka is he hits he right clicks somebody once, and you instantaneously get all charges of Soul Assumption on Visage because of the effect of Tidebringer. So, and because Kunkka's max rank Tidebringer CD is what is it, like 6 seconds?
Yeah, something like
5?
that.
Yeah, like that's pretty much every single Soul Assumption of Visage that is guaranteed to be hitting for max, no matter what else happens in the fight. That's not to be trifled with.
Yeah, by the way, for people wondering, we pronounce Abaddon or Abaddon differently, but both are actually okay, I've been told. Because yesterday I got criticized for pronouncing it Abaddon. I called him Abaddon.
Okay.
And then I got told, no, it's Abaddon. Or something, I don't know.
So if you look at his own, like, I mean, we don't necessarily have to respect his own way of pronouncing his name, but in the actual voice files, it's Abaddon, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually said Abaddon, and then I got told to call him Abaddon, with the focus on the dawn.
I mean, it's fine. Language is usage, right? So if a lot of people call him Abaddon, then that's fine too. But it is Abaddon, like that's what he actually pronounces.
Otherwise, there would be 2 B's, also.
Right.
But, oh well.
I mean, both pronunciations are, I'm sure, fine. It's really not a big deal either way.
I don't think he minds.
They ban AM. AM is the other good option because Nature's Prophet AM is just, it's almost too much split push for you to deal with. So that's a perfectly reasonable ban as well.
Yep. I would actually, Kunkka can actually do some nice split pushing as well. Vengeful Spirit last ban. Of course, Vengeful Spirit Chen allows for high roaming in the early game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty scary for the, pretty scary for the Razor as well. The swap also for the Razor. I mean, getting the static link target away from Razor instantly is pretty big.
Yep, it's actually it can change a fight from a win to a loss basically.
Yep. Let's see what Menace goes for though, because we have one more support for them needed. There's a lot still in the pool. They've banned out quite a bit as well though, so we'll see who they end up favoring. They do have 18 seconds left until their bonus time. We have actually 4FC with more bonus time left than Menace does. With 4FC, I mean, they still can pick up their Kunkka. Which other ones would you see next to their Kunkka?
10 seconds remaining.
For 4FC?
Yeah.
Honestly, Spectre will be decent as well here. It's not a bad pickup. Because of the global presence combined with Nature's Prophet. So that's a pretty decent option. While we're talking about things that go well with Visage, PA wouldn't be that bad in this lineup either, honestly. She can duel pretty much anybody on Menace. And PA goes BKB really frequently anyway, so that takes out a lot of your OD factors. I think both of those are pretty good. Spectre can get out of Clockwork Cogs much more easily than a PA. Well, actually, PA has Blink, so either one of those would be good to get out of Clock.
Yeah, actually, I have to say, I'm not fully behind the Clockwork pickup from Menace. It's a nice hero, don't get me wrong, but it's probably going to be played as support here, right? Or are they going to put Darkseer in jungle, duo jungle with Darkseer Chen? Darkseer off lane, OD safe lane, or OD mid lane, and Alchemist safe lane.
It's definitely greedy. Like, even if the Clockwork is support, this is a really greedy lineup. Like, you have basically 5 heroes. It's the it's the much vaunted Pentacore, the Pentacore lineup, where pretty much everybody's going to reward you with a lot of good things for farm. Also, 3 heroes that all have pretty good Aghanim Scepter upgrades. Chen, Darkseer, Clockwork.
True. They're taking their time, by the way. Really,
yeah, I mean, honestly, they do have at least 4 good choices. So, really anything would work. I still really like Kunkka, but I do have to say that Clockwork makes Kunkka a lot less fun to play.
Marana is also one of the heroes that Strangby loves to play.
Yeah, although it looks like Giftig's going to be on him. Oh, they've moved Strangby to hard support.
Oh,
interesting.
That's very interesting, actually. Maybe they're still
used to always play cores. Yeah, they could swap. So Marana here, I mean, she's such a versatile hero in terms of the spells she casts. And if she nails somebody with an arrow, you can win that fight, no matter who it is, because it is Pentacore. Like, they all really need to not be stunned for long periods of time.
I'm kind of worried for 4FC, though, if this game goes on very long.
I definitely agree. That said, they have great split push with the Prophet.
Yeah.
Like, if it goes long, Krilli's going to be really annoying to deal with.
True, but Marana is kind of a glass cannon. Razor also not your typical hard carry that can really do a lot. I mean, yeah, you can take a lot of damage away from that Alchemist.
Yeah.
But there needs to be, like, there's something else normally. You normally see
their
Razor
game plan after about 30 minutes, I agree with you, Shiva. I think after 30 minutes, their game plan is completely all-in push.
Yeah.
Marana Manta style, Razor Aghanims, and Nature's Prophet. doesn't matter what he goes, but he'll probably go Shadowblade, etc. And after a certain point, their only hope is just to get a win by split pushing or by doing an all-in like Rax rush, which is okay. It can work, but definitely Menace at some point will just have way more killing power, and the power of the Pentacore is going to be pretty tough to deal with eventually.
Yeah. Let's see who's playing what. We have got Karki. He's the one that's standing in for 4FC for today. He'll be playing the Visage.
It is support Alk after all, by the way.
Okay. We have got Giftig playing the Marana. It will be Strangby, who is now a support Rubik, and they go on an aggressive tri-lane with Krilli. Looks to be taken on the mid role with the with the Razor played by Blum on the top lane, safe lane. And by the way, Krilli indeed Nature's Prophet mid. So yeah, interesting mid lane Nature's Prophet. If OD is gonna be there, might not be ideal.
He's not. I don't rotate him there, but so far it doesn't look like it. It's actually... Yeah, these are pretty wacky lanes, but Nature's Prophet, I mean, depending on your matchup, if you properly suss out what you're going against, it's not like he can't mid. He's a perfectly competent mid, frankly. So in this case, once they saw who was on which hero and saw that it wasn't swapped, they knew that, you know, Sifla's not their mid player, right? Because that's who's on this OD in the bottom lane, supported by Jerax on the support Alk. And then Lepiz will be on the Chen, tooling around in the jungle. You've got Boogie in the middle as Darkseer, which Nature's Prophet is fine against. And in the top, it's going to be Spin on the Clockwork. So once 4FC saw who was on what, they were like, okay, we'll configure our lanes to counteract this. And Marana-based aggressive tri-lanes are pretty scary sometimes.
Those arrows are so... Like, you have to get them. That's going to make or break your aggressive tri-lane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Skill shot needed. Nice blocks going on in the meantime. We have a camp blocked. I like this board a lot. If it actually does block the camp. Normally you place one on the high ground, like right above there, which right now is already done. So they don't see one right now. So the next sentry ward that's going to be placed might still not scout out this observer ward, as we already have 2 supports looking for someone in the jungle, perhaps if they can find it.
This early game is not going to be easy for Menace. Like, Alchemist is a pretty competent support, but this is a dangerous tri-lane. Chen is going to have trouble because they're doing a lot of camp blocking. Oh, what a duel there. They actually killed him at the same time. That could have been tremendously consequential if it had gone any other way.
Oh, he's charging up a stun actually. We'll still be able to throw it out up on Strangby. With the clap indeed from the Hellbear Smash. Strangby will end up going down. First blood goes to Jarex. In the meantime, Mirana having some issues up against Sifla, forced to leap away. But that is indeed the first blood already on the board.
Yeah, a little bit, definitely not the way the 4FC wanted to start this aggressive try. Little bit, I mean, Strangby was there like trying to plant wards, which makes a lot of sense, but there wasn't that much support from his team. So he was isolated for a very, very long time. Obviously, the Hellbear Smash or the Thunderclap is really good at level 1, so it's going to basically guarantee that kill for you if you're out of position.
Yeah, lucky for them, they have, I believe, not yet placed... Oh, actually they did. Did that sentry ward actually clear out an observer ward for the Dire?
I think it was just... Yeah, I believe so.
Because there's no observer ward left anymore on 4FC, so that's a pretty big blow, because so far Menace has not lost any observer wards just yet. There's still one sentry ward in the inventory of Karki though, so they still have one, but we'll see. As we have a
I would
rotation,
say that
by
this
the way.
is...
I think we're going to have Boogie top.
Huh.
Block mid.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Spin isn't going to get that much done against Razor. Maybe they can try to go for a kill here. If he catches him in cogs, he's dead.
Whoa. Hello. Shopping. In comes
he missed it.
Link.
He missed the cogs.
Yeah, the iron shot and the block is still there, though. Blomberg will go down.
Yeah. Darkseer Clock is an extremely dangerous dual lane. Because exactly of that. The double Ion Shell, potentially paired with the cogs, is just an insta-kill. Yeah, fight again top, by the way. Bottom of me.
Yep, in comes a stun up on Strangby already. Strangby test of fate there as well. That should be a kill. A couple hits needed. He gets away for now though, but Giftig will be end up leaping away. That's what he ends up doing. But
extremely good telekinesis. He lifts the Centaur Conqueror, lands it on 2 players, and that's what saved him there. Really excellent play by Strangby. We haven't seen him in this support role that much, but he's doing pretty well. He did have that one death, but honestly, he had to plant wards. Like, it was an important ward battle.
I have to say though, I mean, they are now forced to use more regen, and that's gonna set them back a little bit again. So far, the aggressive trial lane has been the one on the back foot. Of course, this aggression came again from the safe trial lane. And that might be hurting them quite a lot. We still have Giftig able to get some last hits. I mean, he's up on 7-3 right now. Not that far behind Sifla, actually, who's 9-8.
Yeah.
So
they are holding Sifla down somewhat.
Yeah.
4FC also, they're doing well in the solo lanes. Like, Nature's Prophet doing, like I said, against Darkseer. If you know the Darkseer is mid, why not? Like, there's no reason not to send Nature's Prophet there. So, Curly has more denies and is fine on last hits. And then in the top, Razor's doing quite well as well. Even with the 1 death, Blomberg is farming pretty well.
Yeah, pretty big difference indeed. We have 19 for 6 on Blomberg. And Spin, who's completely out of mana, is 8 for 1, is being forced away again.
I mean, Razor is going to bully a lot of 1v1 lanes just by the power of Static Link being so dang strong.
Giftig getting removed a little bit of intellect. He is the target for the Astral Imprisonments of the OD. Of course, trying to get rid of the mana to be able to throw out arrows or have a combination at all with a leap and a Starstorm. Right now, he only has 117 mana max.
Yeah. He's mostly going to be using defensive leaps at this point.
Yes.
Mirana is a pretty mana limited hero early on, simply because her spells cost a lot of mana, like 100 at rank 1, more at rank 2 for Starstorm. And with those Astral Imprisonments, yeah, I completely agree. It's going to be a difficult lane to actually generate kills in.
Yeah, we've got also, of course, Chen in the jungle. It's something that Menace will get ahead on, because there's no solid jungler for 4FC at all, so in general already, Menaces should be getting ahead. On top of that, oh, wait a second, Alchemist charging up his stun again. This could be getting turned around real quick. It's Strangby that they want. Can they actually get him? Astral Imprisonment will try to... Oh, Sifla, one more hit. He doesn't go down, though, unless Nature Prophet gets him. Yes, Skrilly gets him. And decides to go for the courier as well. One more hit needed. Come on!
He got it.
There we go. There's gonna be another kill. Or courier kill. It's pretty big courier kill, actually. Did it have something in it? I don't think so, right?
It didn't, but honestly, even just the courier kill is a very big deal because of the bounty. I feel like Menace were a little bit too far up there. Like they obviously knew that there's a Nature's Prophet there and there's a danger of him jumping in on you. But they kind of, I mean, they didn't start the fight, but they definitely put themselves in a position where a fight was likely. And so, 4FC, that's a very, very important, basically, couple of kills for them. Because it gives gold to this gold-starved tri-lane to get that courier.
Yeah, Boogie did get kind of lucky. He Had an empty bottle and he walked to the right rune, so didn't have to bottle grow after all.
He's gonna go kill Razor again.
Let's see if he's lucky with that haste rune. Should definitely be possible, but he doesn't have that much mana.
Well, he can get Arcane Boots on his way. I don't know. I think they could kill Razor. Maybe Spin doesn't have any mana? Yeah, he doesn't.
There we go. With the mana boots of Boogie, perhaps. But for now, he's going back to just sitting in the mid lane. We'll see when he uses his haste rune. Actually, he does use his haste rune right now. He goes towards the top lane. Uses his bottle as well to make it completely empty. Clockwork still a little bit of mana, but 63 attack damage burned. Can they get Blomberg here? He has Eye of the Storm, and the TPs can come in as well. This could get ugly real fast for Menace.
Nice.
Oh, they get him in the cogs though. Eye of the Storm turned on. No TPs coming in, and Blomberg the one to go down.
Sick Vac. It was really good Vac. By that point, Razor had actually gone phase boots, so they couldn't do any body blocking, so that was really smart. But they counteracted it by doing the really good Vac positioning.
Yeah, getting the cogs, getting the kill. Razor dying for the second time this game. I mean, we can compare him to the OD. He is 27 to 10, the Razor that is, and the OD sitting on 15 to 11. So last hitting wise, slightly behind. But OD hasn't died yet, and Razor died twice.
I gotta say, in my opinion, Blomberg probably should have seen that coming, because Darkseer, after he got the haste rune, showed his face in the mid lane and then disappeared. So they would have seen that he was carrying haste rune in his inventory. So when he leaves, conspicuously going towards the northwest, I feel Razor probably should have just peeled back to the
hook shot! And the leap already on cooldown. Gifted will drop. Astral Imprisonment. Visage will try to do something to spin, but he'll get picked off if he's not careful, and he is not careful, he dies.
Nice.
2 kills. Spin lives. And Menace getting ahead here real fast.
Menace just they're really, really difficult to fight in this early laning phase. They have good rotation, good positioning in fights, and they usually, except for that one fight where they lost the courier, they know when to take fights and when not to. And they're very, very, very formidable as an early to mid game team, honestly. These days, they remind me of the old VP. You just don't want to be in early game against these guys. Once it's late game, you can kind of rely on. I feel they just have a little bit less experience with it, so they sometimes make weirder decisions then. But they're really good at this early team fighting.
Yeah, as you said, I believe earlier, or at least not today, but that they have a slight issue, or at least inexperience in terms of closing games. If they are ahead, actually just ending the game.
And behind, too. That other day when they were, behind a little bit, and then they just sort of kept committing their supports, the Visage and whoever else it was, SD, I think. That was a weird game, too, but... Honestly, Menace are really good these days. I feel like they're one of the most, improved teams.
Definitely one to watch out for, and they are playing in a lot of tournaments as well, so indeed keep an eye out for them. Of course, they already have been in a lot of tournaments, to be fair, but
yep. And done pretty well. I mean, they're pretty good at all the EMSs and stuff.
Were they at Star Ladder? Were they at DreamHack? I mean,
they were at DreamHack, I think. Yeah,
somewhere.
They didn't do that great, but they did okay.
That's all that matters. We do have Krilly with the Hand of Midas, by the way. I mean, he got that kill, of course, that he teleported for to the bottom lane. But other than that, we haven't really seen too much of him. He is, however, highest on net worth, though. He has got 61 last hits, which I believe is the highest in the game right now. Actually, next to the Darkseer is the highest. Darkseer got 62. Ooh.
Well, Boogie hasn't left the lane, whereas Krilly went to... Yeah.
But Boogie does not have a Hand of Midas, and that's of course making him sit slightly behind net worth on
Midas Darkseer.
Would be.
Well, as long as you're going Pentacore, I guess might as well
make the best of it.
Yeah.
He almost has his mechanism ready, by the way, and I mean with the lineup that Menace has, with having a Chen and then a mechanism there as well, I'm thinking actually they could try and do the whole death ball thing, as Rubik goes down to the Clockwork, actually still gets picked off by a flare.
Not only can they do the death ball, I think they should. They should try to get these lanes pushed so that Nature's Prophet is gonna have a harder time getting the whole split push ball rolling. The one thing is that they have no farm on basically anybody besides Darkseer. The OD is really not having the easiest time.
True, and the
he won't have to go mech because Darkseer is going mech, so he can just go straight for Force Staff. But still, this OD is going to take a pretty long time to come online. And that's the great thing about this aggressive try. Sure, they didn't get that much done, but at least they held the OD down. That's sometimes a tall order.
And in return, of course, they have a Razor that's fairly decently farmed, and of course, not to mention Nature's Prophet, who is going to be playing a very important role this game. And the bigger he gets, the faster he gets big, that is, the more impact he'll have.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think this is by any means... Like, the scoreline definitely doesn't look that comfortable for 4FC, but frankly, they were never really going to dominate the scoreline. Like, if they were ahead on kills right now, we'd be like, oh, this game is in the bag. It should be Menace killing, because they have the better killing lineup, and it should be 4FC farming up and pushing and really getting that mid-game split push going.
And slowing down the OD and farm, of course, because they did run an aggressive tri-lane, and they did end up giving away some kills on there, but in the end, it might have been worth it just indeed, like you said, shut down Sifla a little bit more.
Yeah. The thing is, they did pay like 3 heroes worth of XP to shut down Sifla, is my only concern. Like, Mirana just now got Moonlight Shadow, which, great, Moonlight Shadow's an amazing spell, but OD is 8, Chen is 6 because he hasn't had to be in the lane that much, and even Jerax almost has that. As support Alk, you really want 7, basically, because you want your Max and Stable Concoction and your Rage, and he's going to be there at a decent time.
Yeah, while the supports of 4FC is still sitting at level 4. Almost level 5 for the Rubik, though, and we have got Visage sitting almost level 5 as well, but still, it is level 4, and they are quite behind. And that's, that's the Vicious Sacrifice.
It's Visage, too, right? Like, it's a hero that really wants to... Yeah, there's the Force Staff, and he disassembles the Trinks for it. Visage doesn't want to be level 4 at 12 minutes because you only have a rank 2 soul assumption, so the maximum damage of it is whatever the maximum damage of it is, like only 300 or something. Like it's way less. It's like 180. So it's much less comfortable to be a Visage who's low level at this point in the game because you're not getting that moment when Visage is the strongest hero.
Yeah, and you need to have your familiars to just make up for that.
Yeah.
And that's of course also Rubik needing level 6.
Yeah. I like this transition, Boogie helping out the push, because the level 10 Darkseer is going to contribute much more to pushing, especially with Mechanism. And they rotate Jerax mid so that the Alchemist can get that level 6 and level 7. So this is very smart. If you, like, again, if you're going to run Pentacore, like, if you're going to have heroes where every single one of them can take some farm, find the allocation to actually make that work.
I'm waiting for the arrow that's supposedly coming from Giftix soon. He is positioning for it. Of course, there might be a TP coming from the Razor. He does have a TP in his inventory. Razor, by the way, the one to go for the Mechanism for 4FC. In comes the arrow, looking for Boogie. Finds it as well! Can they actually take him down? Can he have a follow-up? Telekinesis there. Astral Imprisonment will keep him safe, though. TP in from the Razor. But he is already sent home. Is he not? Not yet.
He is now. He is. Oh, he did make it.
Oh, he did make Visage with a kill in the end. Now they chase down Sifla. Let's see if they can make it happen. It looks like they can, and that's 2 kills going away at 4FC.
Wow. I don't... That was really odd. I don't know about the Astral Imprisonment on the Darkseer to start that off. Like, he ended up just... I mean, sure, he did it at kind of the tail end of the stun, is my problem, I guess. So, I don't know. It seemed like the Darkseer was almost held back by the prison, but maybe I'm wrong. Either way, they lose Darkseer, they lose OD. That's a really rough loss. They wanted the Tier 1 tower, instead they're going to lose their Tier 1.
Yeah. I was going to think the send back was going to be a little bit faster as well, but no such luck. And Menace, luckily for them indeed, not losing the tower, but do lose their highest level and highest farmed hero on the map. And of course, Nature's Prophet did not die, so he is now indeed very far ahead. He is actually 2k gold ahead compared to the Darkseer, which 14 minutes in is a pretty big deal. He also has a Shadow Blade, so let the split pushing commence.
Exactly. This split push is coming at a very great time for 4FC, because it's really before Menace have the appropriate tools of dealing with it. If they were running the carry Alk, then yeah, they can counter push something extremely quickly, but it's really just Darkseer. Oh my god, he got nailed in the same spot!
Oh, Strangby able to get himself out. In comes the stun, maybe from Alchemist, lands it up on the Razor, comes in with the Eye of the Storm again. He can put it on anyway, yeah he does. Goes for Jerax, as Darkseer's already dead. It looks like they can do the exact same thing again!
Yeah. That was the exact same play. It's like when you watch, you know, like American football and the team just runs the same offense like 3 plays in a row. It's like, well, if it's working. I can't believe it. Darkseer was standing in the exact same spot and the arrow was the same angle.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. This will definitely be a tower. In the meantime, Nature's Prophet takes down the top one on the top tier 1 tower, and maybe not the tower on the bottom lane. Actually, in comes a stun. That's going to be a Visage stunned up for now, but Jerax, is he the only one here? No, here comes his team from the sidelines. Hookshot up on 3, Cogs up on 2, Telekinesis towards the other side of the Cogs already though, and he actually doesn't really help his Visage with that. Visage will probably go down, throws out a Soul Summoner before he dies, but is able to pick up the Clockwork with that one, as Strangby goes down. 2 supports go in the way of Menace, but they get a Clockwork for it. It's not a fairly even trade, but with the tower taken down by Krilly, I actually think it might have been worth it, especially since Blumberg denies the tier 1 tower of their own.
They get the deny, they put quite a bit of pressure on the tier 2. Like, that's a third of the tier 2 top HP already taken out. So sure, you got 2 kills for Clockwork. It was a really nice hook shot, to be fair. Spin, that was almost perfectly positioned. They just didn't... They don't have quite enough to layer onto that yet, right? Because your most farmed hero is a Darkseer. He's not, you know... It's not like he went Sanjin Yasha Darkseer, which is the new meta. He's still going this old meta mechanism, which you just don't really have the damage to make that Clockwork, like, the insta-kill off of it.
Yeah, and by the way, Radiant's courier died for the second time 3 minutes ago. It just got respawned again. I missed that one.
And this time it was carrying, like, well, Wand and Dust of Appearance, but still, yeah.
More big plays for 4FC. Big impact things. I mean, it's not really kills or anything, but it's having a pretty big impact on the way that Menace is playing their game right now. I mean, we have the gold graph 4K in favor of 4FC, while they are, I mean, they're even on towers, they're even behind in kills, but they are ahead in gold. They are also ahead in experience, even though not that much for that one because of the 2 kills, of course, that they just gave away.
I'm pretty concerned. I feel that Nature's Prophet has a good chance of running away with this game at this point. It's not even just the split push, and in fact, you can see that he's diversified his options. He's going Orchid. If he jumps in on a solo Outworld Devourer, that's going to be a dead Outworld Devourer.
Yeah, with that Orchid for sure. Silence up, you can't do anything. The extra damage from the Shadow Blade that it brings, it is
and
just
in
very
team
scary.
Fights, silence like Darkseer or something. That's really troublesome. I'm kind of scared for Menace. I think that when you run a lineup like this, you can't afford to make the 2 sort of consecutive mistakes at the bottom tier 1 that they made.
We'll see if 4FC is the one to apply pressure first, because of course, I mean, so far the fights have all come from Menace. They are the ones to rotate, they are the ones to force them out to get arrowed, and then everybody of 4FC comes in and takes Menace down instead.
Right.
But when is 4FC gonna try to make something happen and gonna... Oh, maybe now? Rotating to Roshan, perhaps? No, they can't do it with the 2 of them, can they? The Chen creeps? Another Chen creeps.
They don't have detection? Oh, nice stun!
Alchemist already dead. Can they get another one? Oh, he made himself visible again. That's good. Not good. Did he actually get dusted? I think he did. He goes down. Yeah, he got dusted.
He did get dusted, yeah.
2 kills going away with Menace. That should be a tier 1 tower perhaps, unless 4FC decides to come and fight.
Fantastic unstable concoction from Jirax there. He has 1k. I wonder if he'll make that medallion. It's a little later than you usually want it, but I do think medallion's extremely strong on him, so could still be an option.
Yeah, we had Sifla very low on life though in the end. 1600 gold in his inventory. He's still got normal brown boots, so he could pick up treads if he wants to right now. And we have got already the medallion, of course, up on the Visage, so I'm kind of expecting them to still try to go for Roshan soon. As Clockwork actually has got his Blade Mill, so Menace also starting to get their core items more and more ready.
I think those kills on Krilly and whoever's on the Visage, who's on the Visage, Karki, were really, really, really important for Menace. They gave them that foothold. The fact that OD didn't die is almost as important as the kills they got, simply because, you know, now he has treads, and he can start moving towards the bigger ticket items that really make an OD come into full blossom as a hero. So, important kills. They deflected the pressure from Krilly for a little while. I think 4FC want Roche, but it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to take.
They have to have some momentum in the other lanes before they can. And maybe that's was something that they were trying to force out.
Yeah, here they go.
And there's no word up for Menace, by the way, so they don't have an idea that this is going on apart from heroes missing from the map. And the Flare actually gets sent mid. So that means that right now, Roshan is going to be unscouted for a couple of seconds. I mean, 14 seconds.
Krilly's pretty big. I mean, he's level 14. He's going to do quite a bit of DPS, especially when you have the medallion on. Yeah, I think they can sneak this Roche. That's a big win.
Oh, but they might be giving Razor away in return. In comes the Starstorm door, and Clockwork is the one to die. Static Link's still up on Jerax. He has to run. Blom running also a little bit faster, though. He is 90 HP away from dying, but in the end, 4FC, they get a kill on the clock. They get the Roshan. They get the Aegis up on 4FC's Krilly, Nature's Prophet, who is gonna try to snipe the courier.
Oh my god, again?
Boom, you're dead. 3rd courier in the game.
This is Krilly going pretty ham at this point. He finished his Orchid, by the way, off that. Or he's like 80 gold away. Orchid and Aegis, and you get the Clockwork and your 3rd courier? I don't know.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah. Menace, yeah, they're at risk of completely losing control of this game, especially with the fact that, you know, their heroes simply are not that developed just yet. Darkseer's, his net worth has stagnated. Part of that is intentional, so they're intentionally allocating less farm to Darkseer, and that makes sense. But the rest of the heroes haven't really picked up the slack, right? Like, Alchemist still basically has nothing. He is farming a bit now, but he doesn't have the levels to get Greevil's Greed yet. OD has almost nothing. He's got 1,500. Maybe BKB, I guess? I don't know. I feel like they almost need to have bigger items, but BKB's gonna be good against Orchid.
Yeah, as we have Curly locked inside Cogs, he will end up giving his Aegis away, but the arrow hits up on Spin, and that might be a turnaround. We also have Giftic around here. Familiars helping out. Sprout, Spin, locked in place, killed off. At least they get a trade out of that one. Might not be the trade that 4FC was looking for.
Nice deny. Lepiz got a really good deny against Blomberg on the tower. But Blomberg getting close to his BKB. Actually, I think if he had gotten the last hit on the tower instead of a deny, that would have been the whole BKB. So excellent work by Lepiz to stop that. But Razor is starting to get big.
Indeed. He almost has his BKB ready. By the way, for people wondering, Twitch starting to do its thing again with the delay servers that is not completely accepting all of my frames. Unfortunately, that's still an issue on the side of Twitch. Please send a report to Twitch for that one, as that is the only way that we can fix it. I will reset the stream in between the games, but that probably won't work, as yesterday that didn't work either, but unfortunately...
Is there a... So you have it set... You have the Twitch set to delay 2 minutes, and that's what's causing you to like broadcast.
And my XSplit actually doesn't work with a delay anymore.
Oh, really?
Because it crashes.
Oh,
the delay option crashes.
Maybe you should switch to the free and popular software Open Broadcaster software.
Does
fellow
it
gamer.
have a built-in delay server?
It does. It does. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. They added it at some point.
Maybe we should try that. But I do have nice flash overlays.
I know. I'm mostly messing with you. I know you have all the like custom XSplit stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. Though, hopefully, Twitch will actually work its way towards being normal again. I mean, it started happening after the high source, low, medium kind of thing change went through.
Oh yeah.
So they messed something up with the servers, I think, with the delay. Like, if you stream over delay, you use different servers from Twitch, I believe.
Right.
So.
I mean, maybe, probably. I don't really know.
I think something like that, but I don't actually know either. Just something that I guessed.
I mean, you've got the gun run hookup. You could probably ask him.
I have asked him, but he's actually not replying, and I'm thinking that was mostly because of PAX. Ooh,
probably, yeah.
Boogie. The arrow missed, but he's still getting sprouted. He's still getting silenced. He's still trying to run. I might be able to do it. The surge almost is running out, and he indeed is going to be running. In comes actually the flare. Clockwork might be trying to make a change here, but by himself, Spin would be in for suicide. Doesn't do it. Yeah,
that would be really bad. He's already his last few hook shots have not really been effective, and as Clockwork, you really want to until Ags, you want to min-max your hook shots. Like, you really want each of them to be like a big deal. Once you start falling behind on levels as Clockwork, you really have trouble making an impact. Like, Blade Mail is a good equalizer, but it's not really enough. And right now he's like 5 levels behind Nature's Prophet, right? Like,
yeah.
You need to make sure that he's kind of like Vengeful Spirit. Like, he doesn't really farm camps, he farms team fights.
Jarex is dead. Boom. Visage actually with the familiars with the last hit.
Yeah. But also, what a block.
Nicely done. Curly lives. He's actually turning around. He feels quite comfortable with the Shadow Blade there. He has to be careful though. There is dust up on Spin.
Once the hook doesn't land, he's a lot safer. Yeah, like he's keeping them just outside his zone basically, so that the rest of the team can come in from the side.
Yeah, here he comes. In comes the telekinesis. The silence is already there. Sifla will be the first one to pick up, but he gets forced up into safety actually, and will not be sent home. Will be brought down. Spin. In some trouble there, locked inside his own cogs. He turned on the Blade Mail, but it doesn't really matter at all. He goes down, and 3 dead
Razor
on the side
has BKB.
of Menace.
So Blade Mail doesn't even matter against Razor, because if he's ever in trouble, he'll just BKB. This is bad, and I don't really agree honestly with the Ultimate Orb. I really feel BKB for OD was pretty critical here.
And Boogie sprouted up. As Chen gets picked up on the sideline, Jarek's back alive, but it is Darkseer that dies, and Jarek's is the only one left alive, and he is in his... He's a support alchemist, can't do anything. That's gonna be tier 3, perhaps even Rax.
Well, OD's up in 5 seconds, but I don't know, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Oh, they actually back off. The Chen creeps are creating some issues here. In comes an alchemist on up on Blomberg. He's gonna live though.
Curly's pretty low.
Yeah, we'll be teleporting out. Of course, he'll be able to be back here at any moment.
Sure.
No Rex.
Oh yeah, I think
Gen Creep's MVP.
Yeah, Chen Creeps did a great job of defending there, but I think Krilly is in complete control of this game. Like, look at there's the Treants. They're not going to kill this tower, but they're going to take it to like 150. Well, 200, but still.
Next time, next push, next split push.
Oh no, Jarex is dead again.
Again, sprouted up, killed off. In comes a hook shot for spin. Giftic still has a leap though. They just Prophet Ultimate bouncing around as well, actually doing quite some damage to Krilly here.
The thing about the clock pick, yeah, is that they picked it into a team that could still pick a bunch of blinkers to counteract it. Like, Mirana was good, but even like any of the other options that they were considering would have worked too, because they could just blink right out of the cogs, and your cogs ends up not being that effective. Razor, sure, you can get in on him, but he just BKBs.
Yeah,
and he's gonna go Aghanim Scepter now.
On top
or no,
of that,
maybe Halberd.
Halberd could be a possibility. Sunshine Yasha perhaps as well, just extra fast. I like it.
Sure, yeah, you could go Sinwai.
I also like that Ruby can just pick up the clockwork and drop him outside of the cogs. There's no more battery assault going on.
Absolutely. They have a lot of anti-clockwork stuff. I'm not sure how much... I think you called out the clockwork pick at the time it was made, and they've certainly struggled to make it more than... it's been useful, but not tremendously so.
Let's see if Menace can still come back in this one. Because right now they are actually quite far behind. We have them sitting at 15k gold and disadvantage compared to 4FC with 10k experience.
Yeah. And they're the lineup that wants more gold,
yeah,
too. So it's not just being behind, it's being behind when you're the greedy ones. Like, you're the ones whose heroes are less effective at no farm. Like, Rubik doesn't care if he, like, is at no farm. And even so, he has 4 staff and most of a blink.
Yeah. 1200 gold already in his inventory, and we see that Menace is just shut down in their base. Like, apart from them wanting more farm, they don't really have any space to farm. Their jungle is taken over by 4FC, their top lane constantly pushed out. We still have Boogie farming some, and he is basically the only one that can really feel safe with farming because he has got a BKB, and that might offer him some safety. Of course, he can also get rid of the trees for the Nature's Prophet, and just overall makes him feel a little bit more comfortable. But that's the only one that's really getting the farm. The OD. It's not really getting that much.
I hate to like pile on the difficulties, but like OD is really not gonna do the level of damage that they would want him to. Like you know how Sandy's Eclipse does a ton of damage. Nature's Prophet has 50 more intelligence than OD has. So if OD casts, let's say he casts a Sanity's Eclipse, Razor's BKB'd, Mirana's BKB'd, and it has no effect on Nature's Prophet. So that's 3 out of 5 heroes upon whom that Sanity's Eclipse is completely useless.
It's pretty painful to observe. Menace trying to defend their tier 2 tower. It's the last outer tower that's still standing for them. I'm not real sure if they should try to force out a fight for that one, because if they do, that might result into losing more than just their tier 2s. But it looks like we're seeing Giftic already trying to set up for an arrow. Or is he? Not anymore.
No, not sure. I almost feel like Menace sort of contorted themselves into a weird... Like, their lineup was so odd, and nothing was really stopping them from making it a lot more standard. Like, I don't know that SD and just a normal Alchemist farms the bottom lane with SD. Sure, OD goes mid, they put Razor, and maybe you don't win that lane completely, but... And Darkseer off lane, it would have been fine.
Church Tower, hook shot in, they're actually initiating spin. Oh, vacuum outside the cock. Darkseer wall still pretty neatly done, but the BKBs are turned. Nobody actually died. In comes the Sanity's Eclipse. Same thing you said, nobody really dropping from it apart from supports. Nobody ends up dying. That was everything Menace had. And it didn't even feel like 4FC tried to fight there because they didn't want to cross the wall. They just stood there, took it all, and backed off.
And now no wall? I mean, what are you going to do now?
Telekinesis, Sifla, forced up into safety for now. In comes the Hexagon. Jarek's tower still goes down. I actually have to say, I thought 4FC might be able to make something happen there, but they just wait everything out and take the tower and back off.
Yeah, I mean, taking a tier 2 is good off that fight. Yeah, and you can probably take the next Roche because the lanes are so pushed now, and you have your tier 1 mid up. Like, there's almost no way for a Radiant team, even with vastly better Roshan capability, which they don't have, to actually contest it. So you can get Aegis and just play safe and get your last tier 2. Honestly, they put offensive wards. That was a great expedition. Like, they didn't lose anything, and they gained a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be really tough for Menace to do anything in this game at this point. Because this Aegis is free, basically, for 4FC.
Yeah, especially with the double damage up on Mirana. That's
Razor has Ags, by the way, and 50 gold.
Nice. And those buildings, when they go high ground, they'll drop so fast.
Yeah. Nature's Prophet and Mirana to push, and Razor Ags. Yeah, it's going to melt buildings.
Maybe a tier 1 tower goes down in the top lane. As a...
Yeah.
Well... bit of consolidation for Menace.
I didn't know that Mirana has a special arrow line for hitting Roche. That's funny.
Yep, I actually did. Surprisingly. I can't remember what it was though. No, I never play Mirana, only hear it in casts. But then again, Mirana doesn't come around so often. Tier 1 tower, by the way, still standing, and in comes Greeley, and he is saying, you know what? This is our tower. Oh, he has to be careful though. In comes the hookshot and misses. Flare's hitting. Alchemist will end up stunning himself, and he is not invisible. I mean, this is a support Alchemist. Proud is up there as well. Alchemist still stunned, gets silenced up. Hex up on Sifla in the meantime. BKBs turned on by everybody. Jarek's not able to TP out. Krilli actually taking a ton of damage here inside those cogs, and will end up dropping. Of course, has got the Aegis, so we'll be back here in just a moment. In the meantime, the rest of Menace is having a tough time staying alive. Spin will end up dying, and there's only one hero left alive. It is a Darkseer. The GG is called. Menace give up, and 4FC will take themselves a win in their first game of StarSeries Season 7, day number 3.
Yeah, I really love Menace. I think they're a great team, but that was kind of a mess, honestly. I can't really understand a lot of the decisions that they made. Like, here's a question. Why, during that last fight, was Alchemist carrying 3,000 gold and just having phase boots?
I saw that. He had 29.
What that? Why? Why would you do that? Are you going Radiant support Alchemist? And if so, why? Why?
A question that we'll never have answered, unfortunately. We are going to see another game, though. We are going to jump ourselves to the 4th game of StarSeries. Looks like we have got we've caught up on our delays slightly, but we're going to jump ourselves into next KZ versus Dusa. I am going to reset the stream for a second to just see if Twitch will appoint me a different server to help out with the lag, of course. And we'll be right back with more Dota 2 action.